What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Zeeshan and today I might have some bad news for you. If you're a software engineer who thinks your job is just typing code, the industry is shifting beneath your feet and it is shifting violently. We're entering a new reality in software development. And if you don't adopt right now, you're going to left behind. Listen up. Because the expectations placed on developers have fundamentally changed overnight. Right now, management across the tech industry is looking at AI tools like GitHub Copilot, ChatGPT, and Claude, and they are doing the exact math that you are reading. They are doubling sprint velocity mandates. That comfortable sprint where you used to take on 12 story points, management now expects 24. They are slashing deadlines. They are looking at a traditional 3-point ticket, a ticket that used to give you a couple of days breathing room to architecture, write, and test, and they are downgrading it to a 1-point ticket. Why? Because now AI can write the boilerplate in seconds. I know exactly how stressful this is. I hear it from developers every single day. You feel like you're being squeezed, like you're being asked to do the impossible, and your burnout level are probably through the roof. It feels completely unfair, but here is the brutal truth, and this is the pivot you absolutely need to make today. You cannot just code faster. Trying to type your way out of this new mandate is guaranteed ticket to exhaustion and failure. Instead, you need to completely redefine your role. You need to start treating AI as your junior developer. You have to work smarter, not harder. You are no longer the typist, you are the editor. And to survive this, you need a strict, non-negotiable SOP. Stick with me because today we are breaking down exactly how to do that. Let's jump in. Does it ever feel like you are typing furiously on your mechanical keyboard, hitting 120 words per minute, and yet at the end of the day, your Jira board hasn't moved? This is because simply typing faster doesn't work anymore. It never really did, but AI has completely exposed the flaw in that approach. When management mandates AI tools, they aren't asking you to increase your typing speed. They are asking you to increase your output velocity. There is a massive difference between the two. Let's talk about the agile disconnect. For years, we've used story points to measure complexity, effort, and risk. But somewhere along the line, developers and managers alike started equating one story point to roughly 4 hours of work. It became the measure of time, not complexity. Now, management sees an AI writing a massive chunk of logic in 10 seconds and they assume the complexity is gone, so the time should be gone too. That's the dangerous disconnect. The complexity hasn't vanished, it has shifted. The complexity is no longer in writing the syntax. The complexity is in verifying that the syntax the AI hallucinates actually fits into your massive legacy monolithic code base without breaking production. This is where the concept of vertical slicing becomes your absolute best friend. In an AI-assisted world, a 1-point ticket must be strictly, ruthlessly defined. You cannot accept vague acceptance criteria anymore. If a ticket says implement user profile picture upload, that is no longer a valid ticket. That is an epic hiding in plain sight. You need to slice it down to the bone. Implement AWS S3 bucket connection for image upload using Kotlin coroutines. This is a slice. Why? Because AI is terrible at architecture, but incredible at execution. If you give an AI a vague, massive task, it will give you the garbage code that takes you hours to untangle. If you give it a vertically sliced, hyper-specific task, it will give you exactly what you need in seconds. You have to realize that you are transitioning from a code typist to a code editor. Think about an executive editor at a major newspaper. They don't sit there writing every single article from scratch. They have junior writers, your AI, drafting the pieces. The editor's job is to review the draft, check the facts, ensure it matches the publication's voice, fix the structural issues, and hit publish. If you try to write every line of code yourself in 2026, you're acting like an executive editor who fired all their writers because they want to type the article themselves. It is an ego play and it will destroy your productivity. You have to let go of the ego of typing syntax, embrace the high-level cognitive work of editing logic. Alright, so how do we actually execute this? How do you double your sprint velocity without working 80-hour weeks? You need a system. Relying on motivation or caffeine isn't going to cut it. You need my 5 phases mandatory AI SOP. This is non-negotiable. If you skip a phase, the system breaks down. Before you write a single line of code, before you even open your IDE, you start here. Phase 1 is all about writing the master prompt and extracting context. The biggest mistake developers make with AI is treating it like Google. They type a quick, lazy question and expect a masterpiece. Your master prompt needs to act as the ultimate onboarding document for your AI junior dev. You need to feed it the exact context of the ticket. Let's say you're building an Android feature. You don't just say write a Kotlin function to open the camera. You say act as an expert Android engineer. We are using Kotlin. We are implementing the CameraX API for a custom barcode scanner. The minimum SDK is 24. We are using coroutine for asynchronous work. Do not use deprecated Camera 1 or Camera 2 APIs. Here is the JSON structure, the data we expect to scan. You have to front load the context. Spend 15 minutes writing an incredibly detailed prompt based in your interface contract, your data models, and your strict architectural guidelines. By doing this, you are building a fence around the AI. You are restricting it from going down rabbit holes and hallucinating libraries you don't use in your project. This 15-minute investment in phase 1 saves you 3 hours of debugging in phase 3. Now we move to execution. This is where the magic happens, but it's also where developers get lazy. Phase 2 is about generating boilerplate, handling cross-language translation, and human integration. Let's say you have a massive complex data model written in Swift for iOS app, and now you are tasked with creating the exact same feature for the Android app in Kotlin. Historically, you would sit there manually translating Swift structs into Kotlin data classes, mapping out Codable to Moshi or Zeeshan. It would take a full day of mind-numbing typing. Now you take that Swift file, drop it into your AI tool, and say translate this Swift model into Kotlin. Use parcelize and ensure all optional variables are properly handled with Kotlin's null safety. And 10 seconds later, the boilerplate is done. But, and this is a massive but, this is where your role as the editor kicks in. You do not just copy and paste that code and push it to production. That is professional negligence. This is the human integration phase. You take that generated code, paste it into your IDE, and you audit it line by line. Does it fit your specific app architecture? Did it handle the memory references correctly? And listen to me closely on this. Time tracking starts here. If you use tools like Toggle to track your sprint hours, you do not track the 10 seconds the AI took to generate the code. You track the time you spent integrating and editing the code. This is your actual billable, valuable time as an engineer. Management thinks the job is done when the AI spits out the text. You know the job is only half done until the human editor validates it. Do not dare to open a pull request yet. Phase 3 is your safety net. You are mandating AI for generating unit tests and performing self-audits. Nobody likes writing unit tests. It's a broccoli of software development. But now you have no excuse. You take that function you just edited, feed it back to the AI, and instruct it, write exhaustive unit tests for the Kotlin function using JUnit and MockK, generate positive tests, negative tests, and edge cases, specifically looking for null pointer exceptions and out-of-bound errors. The AI will generate 50 lines of test coverage in a heartbeat. You run them, half of them will fail because the AI don't fully understand your mock data. That is fine. You fix the tests, and in doing so, you actually find the logical flaw in your own code. Furthermore, you use the AI for a self-audit before anyone else sees your code. You prompt it to review the code for memory leaks, big or time complexity issues, and potential performance bottleneck in a multi-threaded environment. Let the machine tear your code apart in the private, so your senior engineers don't have to do it in public. Code review is historically the biggest bottleneck in any sprint. You write the code in 2 days, and it sits in PR projectory for a week. We are ending that today. Phase 4 is hyper-accelerated code review. As the author of the PR, you are going to use AI to summarize your massive diffs. Instead of writing a lazy fixes bug description, you have the AI generate a comprehensive summary of the changes, files impacted, and the specific architectural decisions made. But if you are the reviewers, this is where your life changes. When you are assigned a PR, you no longer spend 2 hours manually reading every line of boilerplate. You feed the PR diff into the AI tool and prompt it, act as a strict senior staff engineer. Review the diff, ignore formatting and style guides, look only for logical flaws, security vulnerabilities, race conditions, and architectural anti-patterns. Provide bulleted list of high severity concerns. The AI pre-screens the PR. If it flags a race condition, you dive deep into the specific block of code. If it gives it a clean bill of health, you spend 10 minutes doing a human sanity check on the business logic, approve it, and move on. You are turning a 2-hour task into a 10-minute task. Even with all this, bugs will happen. Phase 5 is how to handle them. When production crashes and you get a massive unreadable stack trace in Crashlytics, what do you usually do? You sigh, you open 15 Stack Overflow tabs, and you start playing detective. Stop doing that. The Defect protocol mandates that you feed crash logs directly into the AI for root cause cause analysis. Take that massive stack trace, paste it in, and provide the exact file it points to. Analyze the Android stack trace. The crash occurs in camera X image analyzer callback. What is the root cause? What is the specific code change required to fix the memory leak? It will instantly spot that you forgot to close the image proxy buffer, causing memory to spike. It pinpoints the exact line of code, you verify it, you fix it, and you push the hotfix. Now, I want to shift gears for a second and talk directly to the engineering managers, the tech leads, and the senior PMs out there. Managing a team through this transition is incredibly volatile. If you just walk into a stand-up and say, hey everyone, you have AI now, so your story points are doubled, good luck. You're going to destroy your team's morale and watch your best engineers walk out the door. You need to understand and communicate the J-curve of productivity. When you implement the mandatory AI SOP, things are going to get slower before they get faster. The curve dips down before it skyrockets up like a J. Your developers are going to struggle with prompt engineering. They're going to get frustrated when the AI hallucinate bad code. They're going to spend more time untangling AI messes that they would have spent just typing it themselves initially. You have to protect your team during this dip. You have to manage stakeholder expectations and tell leadership, we are investing in a system. Velocity will drop by 15% this sprint so that it can increase by 100% in Q3. I know this is a lot to process. The ground is shifting under our feet in real time, but resisting this change is not an option. You can complain about the double story point. You can complain about management not understanding your code, but at the end of the day, the market rewards those who adopt. Remember the core thesis of everything we talked about today? AI is not going to replace developers. It is just a tool, but an engineer utilizing an AI SOP will absolutely, without a doubt, replace a developer who refuses to use it. You have to make the choice today to step up, elevate your role, and become the editor your team needs you to be. Implement these 5 phases, protect your time, protect your mental health by working systematically. If this mindset shift brought you value, or if you completely disagree and think typing speed is still king, I want to hear about it. Drop a comment down below with your thoughts on how AI is impacting your dev team's sprint velocity. Are your managers pushing unreasonable deadlines? Let's talk about it in the comments. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so you don't miss the next deep dive into your tech reality. And as always, keep building, keep adapting. I'll see you in the next one.